Ever opened your website analytics, seen a decent number of visitors, and then thought, wait, why is no one actually contacting us? One of our clients came to us like that not long ago. She runs a growing local service business. Her homepage was getting traffic from Google and social media, but she was getting maybe one inquiry a week. She told me, almost whispering, "Catherine, I feel like my homepage is quietly chasing people away, but I don't know why."
Yeah, and what was wild is that her homepage looked busy in the best sense at first glance. Lots of sections, plenty of text, tons of buttons. But when we stepped back, it felt more like a noisy market than a calm front desk. You landed there and your brain went, where do I even start?
Exactly. Marketing should feel like a breeze, not a storm. Her page was trying to say everything at once and ended up saying nothing clearly enough for people to take action. You're listening to The Digital Breeze with Art Breeze. I'm Catherine, your digital marketing and SEO specialist.
And I'm Leo, creative director and web design specialist. Around here, we believe your website should feel like a calm, confident welcome, not a cluttered bulletin board.
Today, we're talking about how to turn your homepage into a quiet, high-converting path from click to client. No coding tutorials, no tech headaches. Let's simplify this. So, let's go back to that client. She had good traffic, strong reviews, a real-world business that people loved, but her homepage didn't show that clearly. When we looked at the data, people were leaving within just a few seconds. That's a huge clue. Here's the calm truth. In the first 5 seconds on your homepage, a visitor's brain is trying to answer 3 simple questions. Not 30, not 12, just 3.
And if those 3 aren't clear, their mouse finger kind of instinctively reaches for the back button.
Those 3 questions are: 1. What do you do? 2. Is this for someone like me? And 3. What should I do next? If a stranger lands on your homepage and has to hunt around to figure out those answers, they won't open a detective kit. They'll just leave. Not because you're bad at what you do, but because the page is making them work too hard.
And your visitors are usually multitasking. They're on their phone, maybe in line for coffee, maybe during a quick break. If your homepage feels like a research project, it's over.
So here's how you can do a quick 5-second test on your own homepage. This is simple, I promise. Pull up your homepage. Now, imagine someone who has never heard of you looks at just the top part of the page for 5 seconds. No scrolling, just that first screen. Ask yourself, is there one clear line that says what you do in plain language? Not clever, not cute, clear. Something like, we designed calm, high-converting websites for small businesses, instead of, we reinvent digital realities.
Yeah, the second one sounds cool on a billboard in a sci-fi movie, but not so helpful when someone just wants to know if you can fix their website.
Next, can they instantly see if it's for them? That usually means you name who you serve. For local service-based businesses, or for busy clinic owners, or for wedding photographers in the UK. When people hear themselves in your words, they relax. And finally, is there one obvious, calm next step? A button that says something like, request a free quote, book a quick call, or view our services. One main action, not 5 competing ones.
If your hero section looks like a Christmas tree of buttons, learn more, contact, shop, subscribe, download, all blinking at once, your visitor's brain doesn't know which is truly important.
Clarity converts. Digital doesn't have to be difficult. If you get those 3 answers obvious in your hero section, what you do, who it's for, and what to do next, you've already calmed a huge chunk of the chaos on your homepage. Now, let's zoom out from those first 5 seconds and look at the rest of the homepage, but in a really simple, non-technical way. Think of your homepage as 5 calm sections in a row. Section 1 is your hero. That's the top part we just talked about, your clear promise, who it's for, and your main button. Section 2 is proof. This is where you show very gently that you're trustworthy. That could be a couple of short testimonials, logos of clients you've worked with, or a quick line like, trusted by over 120 local families, if you're, say, a home services brand.
And it doesn't have to be a giant wall of reviews. Even 2 or 3 specific lines from real people, short, human, not buzzword heavy, can do a lot of heavy lifting for trust.
Section 3 is your services, or what you actually offer. This is where a lot of people overcomplicate things. You do not need 10 tiny boxes with every possible variation of what you sell. Start with your main offers in plain language and group related things together. For example, instead of listing Website Package A, Website Package B, Landing Page Design, Homepage Tune-Up, SEO Audit, Content Revamp all separately, you might have one card called Website Design and Tune-Ups with a short description, and another called SEO and Visibility Boost. Breathe and build. People appreciate simplicity. Section 4 is more trust. This can be a slightly deeper testimonial, a short story of a client result, maybe a photo of you or your team with a small, honest paragraph about why you do what you do.
This is where your brand story quietly sneaks in a good way. Not your entire autobiography, but a hint of, hey, we're real people and we care about getting this right for you. Design is trust, but words can support that trust beautifully.
And finally, Section 5 is your clear call to action again. Basically, you're gently saying, if this sounds good, here's your next step. The same main action as the top, repeated in a calm, confident way. So hero, proof, services, trust, call to action. That's your simple homepage spine. You can add other elements around it over time, but if you get these 5 right, your homepage starts working like a quiet, always-on sales assistant instead of a noisy flyer.
All right, let's talk about how design makes all of that feel calm instead of chaotic. Because you can have the right sections, but if everything is crammed together and shouting at the visitor visually, they'll still feel overwhelmed. Let's paint a picture. Imagine you walk into a tidy, sunlit room. There's one clear sign that tells you where to go, a friendly person at a desk, and a comfy chair if you need a moment. That's the feeling your homepage should give. Now, imagine the opposite. You open the door and every wall is covered in posters. Someone is waving 5 flyers in your face, and 3 people are talking at once. That's what a cluttered homepage feels like.
Design-wise, there are 4 calm levers you can pull: layout, fonts, colors, and hierarchy. And you don't have to be a designer to understand these at a basic level.
Layout. Give your content room to breathe. White space is not wasted space. If everything is edge to edge, your visitors' eyes don't know where to rest. Add some padding, some margin. Let there be space between sections. Think of it like margins in a book. You never want the text running to the very edge.
Fonts. Choose 1 or 2 clean, readable fonts. No need for 5 different styles. Your main headline font, your body text font, and maybe a subtle accent. If someone has to squint, or if it feels like a party invitation everywhere, it will quietly hurt your conversions.
If your font looks like it belongs on a birthday balloon, maybe don't use it for your main services list.
Exactly. Then colors. Instead of using every color in the rainbow, pick a main color, a neutral, and maybe one accent. Use your main brand color for that primary button, not for every single headline, border, and background at once. Finally, hierarchy, which is just a fancy way of saying make the most important things look the most important. Your main headline should be bigger and bolder than subheadings. Your main button should stand out more than secondary links. First impressions matter, and your visual hierarchy is your way of saying start here.
And that start here should match the action we talked about earlier, your one main path, not 8 competing paths.
When you put all of this together, your homepage becomes a guided journey. Someone lands at the top curious, they see your clear promise, they realize, oh, this is for me, and there's one friendly button inviting them forward. Then, as they scroll, they see proof that you're legit, a simple overview of what you offer, a little more trust, and that button again saying, ready when you are. It's not a hard sell. It's more like a calm host walking them down a hallway to the right door.
I love that image. Your homepage as a calm hallway, not a maze. Marketing should feel like a breeze.
And for that hallway, you want one main destination. So ask yourself, what's the single most important thing you want a new visitor to do? Book a call, fill out a quote form, browse a specific service page? Once you know that, make that your primary button and repeat it in a few key spots. Everything else can be available but quieter. It's like having a main sign and then smaller labels on the side doors.
That's actually the heart of what we call the Art Breeze Method homepage blueprint. One clear promise, one main path, and a few proof points. That's it. One promise. Your main headline that calmly states the value you bring. One path, the main action button and journey Leo just described. A few proof points, testimonials, logos, or a mini success story that whisper, you can trust us without shouting.
Notice we didn't say tear down your site and start from scratch. You can probably move toward this blueprint with what you already have by reducing, rearranging, and clarifying.
Growth is a marathon, not a sprint. You don't have to fix everything tonight. To keep this from feeling overwhelming, let's give you a quick self-audit checklist. Just a few questions you can run through, maybe one per week. Checklist item 1. In the first 5 seconds, can a stranger answer those 3 questions? What do you do? Who is it for? And what should they do next? Item 2. Do you have more than one main button competing for attention in your hero section? If yes, choose your favorite child and make that the star. The others can move lower on the page or into the menu.
Item 3. Does each section on your homepage have a clear job? Hero to explain, proof to reassure, services to clarify, trust to humanize, call to action to invite. If a section doesn't have a job, it might be adding clutter. Item 4. Visually, can your eyes rest? Is there enough space between sections? Is your text readable? And are you using a small, calm color palette instead of every color you liked in high school?
And item 5. Do you feel proud showing your homepage on a phone? Not just on your laptop. Most of your visitors are probably on mobile. If the buttons are tiny, the text is cramped, or you have to pinch and zoom, that's a quiet conversion leak waiting to be fixed. My recommendation: pick just one of those checklist items and focus on that this week. Maybe it's rewriting your main headline in plain language. Maybe it's removing 2 extra buttons. Small, calm changes stack up.
And honestly, you might be closer than you think.
For a lot of people, it's not about adding more. It's about taking away what's distracting so your best stuff can finally stand in the spotlight.
Your brand deserves to be seen. And your homepage can absolutely be that quiet, always-on sales assistant we talked about, without you pulling an all-nighter or learning a new programming language. If you'd like to see what this looks like in real life, we've put together a sample Art Breeze homepage blueprint for you. You can check it out on our website and even request a calm, no-pressure homepage review if you want a pair of expert eyes on your site.
Yeah, think of it as a friendly walkthrough. We'll point out where things feel clear and where your visitors might be slipping away, and then give you a few simple, prioritized tweaks, one change at a time, very much in that calm, one-step-a-week spirit.
So, when you're ready, head over to the Art Breeze website to see the sample blueprint and request your homepage review. No pressure, just support. Marketing should feel like a breeze.
Thanks for spending this time with us today. I hope your next look at your homepage feels a little less stressful and a lot more like that calm, sunlit room we talked about.
Keep it simple, keep it growing, and let it be a breeze.